This week on Fighting Fraud with AARP Connecticut, scammers asking for gift cards as a form of payment.
These criminals are just so sophisticated.
How Lindsay was targeted by one of the most common scams. Plus, we'll give you the red flags to look for when it comes to spotting a gift card scam. Then, they targeted her mother over and over.
This is their full-time job, is to scam people. And they scam people of all ages.
What this retired police captain wants you to learn from her professional and personal experience with scammers. And it's something all of us should have in our toolkit. See what goes into creating a refusal script and how it can help you stop a gift card scam.
Do you give gift cards as presents? Let us know in the comments. I've given and received them, and how about you? As gifts? Let us know. Welcome to this episode of Fighting Fraud with AARP Connecticut. Today we are looking at some of the ways criminals are using gift cards for a big payout. So what exactly is a gift card scam?
So a gift card scam is when someone calls you or contacts you and says that you have a fee or a fine or a penalty due and that they want you to pay, but they want you to pay via a gift card. And at that point, that's when you look at that and say, yeah, gift cards are for gifts only. So whoever this is calling me is probably not legitimate. And at that point, you really need to end that conversation.
Criminals do not discriminate when it comes to who they go after. Next up, Lindsay tells us how one scammer really did their homework when targeting her.
I was sitting on my phone on the train and I got just a notification that said my boss's name. And so when we're sending emails throughout within the university, you just see the person's name. There's no email in the notification. And so I just saw her email and it said like urgent in the subject line. And I read the email. I didn't even check to see who had sent the email because it just said her name, like plain as day. So they created an email address that was similar to my boss's. And so she had asked me to buy gift cards for the athletics department, which is something that I had done previously. So I was like, okay, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. And so I text her back and I'm like, okay, I'll get the gift cards once I get off the train. And so I get off the train, I hop on the bus and I purchase the gift cards. Once I got home, I kind of sit with it a little bit. I'm like, this is a little off. Once I'm rereading these messages and they're not responding to me, the tone is just completely off. It doesn't match her like warm nature at all. It just kind of hits me that this was not a real request. I felt violated. They knew where I worked. They knew who my boss was. They had gotten my phone number. So seemingly a lot of my personal information was in their hands. So I just felt completely out in the open. I want everyone to understand that these criminals are sophisticated. They have really incredible mindsets. And it's just kind of, it really gets to your psyche of, what you should or should not be doing. And they're really able to kind of attach, different requests to different people. I was shocked at how well they had, come up with this request that was so similar to what my job description was. It's as if they had done like research on what they were trying to, fraud me out of. It's a myth that this only happens to the older generation. It can happen to anyone.
That's true. It really can happen to anyone.
Here are 3 red flags to look for when it comes to gift card scams. Number 1, you're directed to buy one or more gift cards, often referred to as electronic vouchers, as a quick means of making a payment. Number 2, you're told to share the numbers off the back of the gift card, either by reading them to the person on the other line or taking a picture of them. Number 3, the request comes from someone you wouldn't expect to ask for money this way. Sometimes it can be someone claiming to be with Social Security or the IRS. Another time it might be from someone saying they're from a utility company and they're going to shut off your power if you don't pay right away. Another instance might be someone saying that you won a prize or lottery and all you need to do is send the information from a gift card to pay the back taxes or whatever money is involved with claiming that prize.
Another way gift cards are used in scams is in something commonly referred to as the grandparents or imposter scam.
The one that is surprising to me, that's very, very common, is called the grandparents scam. And the grandparents scam is where you will receive a phone call from somebody that's perhaps a young child that says grandpa or grandma, and they might not even use their name. I'm in a bus station and I don't have any money, and I need you to send me $100 so I can get home. And you panic, and they say, and please don't tell mom or dad because they're really going to get mad at me. And then you find yourself doing something that you never would, and that is sending people money. And what people will do is they'll say, please go to the store and buy $500 worth of gift cards, and then read me the gift card numbers on the telephone. The fraudster or the criminal wants to get the potential victim under the ether. Under the ether means they want to manipulate them and get them so excited that then they have to act on something. That's part of the grandparents scam, where a young child says, I need help. And all of a sudden the grandparent panics, as any of us would, and they instantly go under the ether. And once the criminals say, you're under the ether, I've got you.
Did you know that according to the Federal Trade Commission, in the first 9 months of 2021, consumers reported losing $148 million in scams where gift cards were used as a form of payment? Coming up, a retired police captain shares how tragedy moved her to get involved and make a difference.
My mother, when she was alive, was a victim of many different types of scams. So I experienced these scams firsthand, and they wanted money up front so that way she can get this larger sum of cash. And it was truly heartbreaking to see my mom think that she had won the lottery. She had been on a very fixed income, and times were tough for her. She was constantly contacted, trying to get her credit card numbers. She was a victim of sexual assault in a nursing home. Unfortunately, you name it. And, I was a police officer at the time. My sister's a doctor. And, we were, advocating for her. And regardless of two really strong advocates, she was still victimized over and over again. So that's a little bit about my history and why I am personally so invested in elder abuse. Seeing the trauma firsthand that my mom experienced, helps me kind of reach out and want to be part of the solution. A family member who has been victimized, they need support. They need to be validated that they are a victim of a crime, and they've been manipulated, and they've been manipulated by people who have been trained to do this. This is their full-time job, is to scam people, and they scam people of all ages. But I think when it happens to the elderly, we do tend to blame the elderly for this, and it's not their fault. They've been scammed by a professional criminal. And I would like to see the family support them, contact law enforcement, so that way we can start seeing trends and apprehending some of these people that are doing it to all people. It's not only, it's a crime, but it's also just personally devastating to watch that happen to somebody that you love.
Sometimes getting a scammer off the phone sounds easier than it actually is. Here are some tips when it comes to writing your own refusal script.
I think one really important tactic that people can have in their arsenal of fraud prevention is having a refusal script. And if you have a refusal script, it might get you out of a sticky situation. So if, for instance, someone calls you on the phone and you're not comfortable just hanging up on them or being rude, it's very easy to say, you can send me information and I'll consider it. It also is easy to say, I don't make financial decisions without consulting a family or friend or my partner. Additionally, someone could say, I don't make decisions over the phone. Personally, I have a really hard time saying no at my door. And so developing a refusal script for your door, I think, is also really important. So for myself, I say, I don't make purchases at my door. You can leave me something and I'd be happy to follow up on the phone or over the internet, but I'm not going to do any business at my door. And so just having something that you're used to saying might take you out of a situation that you're not comfortable with, and hopefully get you out of a sticky situation in any type of a scam.
So there's one time that I remember that my mom was a victim of a scam, and somebody had called her and they were requesting her numbers to her checking account. And I had told her, if anyone ever does this, have them call me. So I was actually trick-or-treating with my children, and I get a phone call about 6:30 or 6:45 at night. And this individual, really, I couldn't believe that, they had so much guts to call me up and to ask for my mother's checking account number. I remember telling this person, that, they weren't going to get the numbers. And this person actually said to me, go to hell. And I said, me go to hell? I said, you're going to go to hell for scamming the elderly. And then click with that, they hung up the phone on me.
So much great information in the show today. Tell us in the comments what your favorite moment or tip was. I think my favorite moment was Lindsay stating that this can happen to anyone. She did her due diligence. She was cautious, but in fact, the message she got out and that we want to get out is that this can happen to anyone. Remember, if you're looking for more information about gift card scams, you can check out aarp.org/gift cards. Make sure to like and subscribe and check back for new episodes in the future.
Join us for events in your community. Go to aarp.org/CT events. Look for the Con Artist Playbook by AARP Connecticut.